This is a conspiracy channel. Tape 1.
Welcome to the Hush channel. The mystical Biringan is said to lie invisibly between Gandara, Tarangnan, and Pagsanghan in the Samar province of the Philippines, believed to exist in another dimension that overlaps with the human world from time to time. Only during dark, moonless nights have seafarers, fishermen, and a distinct few been able to catch a glimpse of this phantom city that lurks darker than the depths of midnight, both a blessing and a curse, as many of these particular onlookers are soon afterwards possessed, hypnotized, drawn, and led into Biringan, assimilating into its population of inhabitants dubbed the Encantos, or the Enchanted Ones. These elementals are entities thought to be ancient, yet said to be beautiful, and immortal mixed-race shapeshifters who appear to be completely human, with the exception of one very fine detail: the lack of a philtrum, the small vertical indent between a human's mouth and nose. The narrative is that the only way to enter the Black City itself is by invite only, or from an encounter with an Encanto who has taken interest in you. Few return. Most believe Biringan is the source of many missing locals, believing few would want to even return from the beautiful city only thought to exist in folklore. The Encanto are said to sometimes wander the streets of the nearby provinces with a particularly strange fixation for materialistic items sold by the locals there. Consequently, they are often distinguished by their fancy for all black attire. If they take a liking to a person, their way of initiation into their land begins with the offer of black food. Thus, villagers are wary of such offerings and of those fitting the description of the Encanto. The Black City itself corresponds with its inhabitants' attire when they decide to step out. Described as a city whose architecture and self-driving vehicles are all black and accented with gold, with buildings lined with foliage, giving the appearance of a futuristic, steampunk, post-apocalyptic, vegetated yet technologically advanced land of ancient benevolent beings, surrounded by a heavily guarded terrain. Those who seek out the place without initiation and in search of its treasures are left unsuccessful and outwitted by perplexities inexplicable to the human mind. Not being able to even fully enter the forest as need be, those who try have failed, only ending up lost and then back at their starting point bewildered. Strategy after strategy. Some simply go missing. In the 1980s, Japanese geological satellite images allegedly revealed a lighted land in the supposed location of Biringan City. They believed that the lit regions were filled with loads of gold and uranium, and thus decided to set up shop. But upon doing so, strange things began to occur. Miners began to go missing. Equipment began to consistently malfunction. And the lit land revealing gold and uranium that had once appeared on radar began to shift position. A position which could not be nailed down as it seemed to consistently shift slightly, try after try. To the technicians, the satellite infrared systems were glitching. They had no choice but to pull out of the operation. San Jorge, Gandara, Tarangnan, and Calbayog have certain marked rocks, trees, fields, roads that at key times are said to be locations that hold entrance portals to the disappearing city of Biringan. Stories of deliveries with addresses and cash transactions paid in full in advance that lead to drop-off points to the homes of long-deceased individuals are said to be the inner workings of the Encantos, a display of their materialistic fancies and a contributing occurrence that lines up with the notion that Encantos sometimes marry humans, and to ease suspicion, they falsely set up a quick faux death using a doppelganger. Taxi drivers often tell of strange passengers who purposely overpay them just to mysteriously disappear en route without sound, or passengers who ride along until the taxi goes through a portal to their land, vanishing suddenly. Instances like this lead locals to believing the Encanto possess the ability to get inside the minds of humans, causing taxi drivers to seemingly forget stopping or even seeing the Encanto vanish. Strangely enough, There have been reports of large orders of construction equipment ordered from Biringan City, a happenstance that is of course unknown to the transporters until the end of their transit. One incident involved a large haul of construction material and a cargo ship, which included an order of cement, mixers, and bulldozers. The freight workers, of course, had no idea that the address provided was not one that was in this world. The shipment, like other small deliveries, was paid in full in cash and in advance. Upon customs inspections of the cargo, customs workers recognized the address of that belonging to Biringan City, something only those local would recognize. The custom workers managed to notify the head of the ship, ordering them to return the cargo back to its departing point in Manila, to not deliver the cargo to the Encantos. The crew, however, went missing instead. Supposedly, the shipment made its way to Biringan City, irregardless. A similar incident occurred when a group on a bus from Manila found themselves lost after unknowingly entering a portal into the perimeters of Biringan. Night approached, so the bus driver decided to park roadside, getting off the bus to seek footing of the landscape while everybody was asleep. However, upon returning, the bus was gone, and so were its passengers. He kept wandering throughout the night, and what he did find did not make any type of sense. He found the bus mountainside without any tracks showing how it even got there and that it even drove there. It was like the bus had been dropped off. There were no signs of the passengers, and special machinery would later have to be used to even remove the bus from its difficult and unexplainable lodging into the mountainside. Rumors also tell of a prominent encounter with a woman studying in Manila named Carolina, who invited a few schoolmates to Biringan after graduation. These schoolmates also never returned home. They vanished, never to be heard from again, with the exception of one student who contacted her family to ease their worries, stating that she was doing just fine and was actually married to an Encanto. This story even aired on Good Morning America after a local playwright wrote of the incident in recent history. The results of this playwright's actions led to too many outsiders being privy to the local hidden treasure of Biringan, backfiring for the playwright in an ironic series of unfortunate events paralleling that of the misfortunes of Shakespeare's Macbeth. Simultaneously, the names of the Encantos used in the play failed to appear in all local newspapers, no matter how many times the print was attempted to be reprinted. As stated previously, in the tradition of ancient history, the accounts of Biringan City was passed down orally, but is ever ongoing with new encounters still emerging. Maybe you, too, can contribute to this oral history of Biringan by getting cozy on the docks amongst the seafarers during the night of the new moon in the Samar province. In the tradition of ancient history, the account of Biringan City was passed down orally, but it is ever ongoing with new encounters still emerging. Maybe you too can contribute to this oral history of Biringan by getting cozy on the docks amongst the seafarers during a night of the new moon in the Samar province.
End of tape 1.